it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today we are having a little bit of relaxing card making with a gorgeous stencil. This one happens to be I think it's called Tranquil Lotus layering stencil. But I think that you can do this with any layering stencil, any floral stencil that is going to work. You could do this with a single layer one by all means. I have shown this lots of times on my channel around if you just have a one stencil and it's not a layering one, you can by all means add in all those different colors and textures and it's going to really amp up the look of your single layer stencils. But this one happens to be a 3. Now I actually have a plan for this one because there are lots of ways that we can use this and change the look of it. But today I'm going pretty stock standard, but this is really just a great card layout, very basic, not too many tools required, and really enjoyable to create. So there is 3 layers to this one. It is a layering stencil. So there's the stem first of all. I'm using 2 different greens, mainly because I had the finger daubers beside me, but I didn't bother getting out different inks or anything. And then before I take the stencil off, I'm just going to wipe this down with a paper towel. This serves to clean the stencil, but also any of the spare ink that doesn't go on the paper towel will also go into the stencil where it's actually meant to go. So a good way to clean up. And then I'm going to pop on the layering portion of this, the first. So this is like the largest holes of the stencil. And this one we're going to do a couple of extra fun things because it's always good to pick up a couple of tips tips and tricks when you are watching these videos. And I'm going to add a very light layer first of all. Now the inks that I'm using, I believe these are the light, medium and dark of the Carnation inks. These also actually happen to be Gina layering inks, and as far as I know, they don't have coordinating cardstock or anything that go with these. These ones she does with I think a lot of her other inks, but not the layering ones at the moment anyhow. Now this one here is actually a Festive, I think it's called Festive Berries or Festive Stencil or something along those lines, and of course this is maybe aimed at Christmas or something like that, but actually we can use this all year round, absolutely all year round. And I'm going to use this on top of the other stencil. So I've still got the stencil with the widest gaps, so the largest gaps in it, and then I'm layering up this more detailed stencil, and that is going to give me a little bit of texture. You could also stamp a stamp through the stencil as well. It absolutely does not have to be this Festive stencil. It can be anything, absolutely anything. You can just find a stencil that has smaller detail, and that's just going to elevate it a little bit more as well. So I just used the same color ink. I did a light layer of ink for the base, and then when I put over the Festive Berry stencil, I just used the same ink but went in with a heavier application. So didn't even use another color. We don't need to. Now, as for the masking paper, this one was on my desk because my daughter had been using it, and so I have no idea if this is still available, but nonetheless, any masking paper is good masking paper if it works for you. And what I'm going to do is I've actually just stenciled on the right hand flower, I guess, and I'm going to use this as a little bit of mask because we are keeping this little gorgeous card sweet and easy, but it is actually one of my favorite cards, and I am going to go back and make this into lots of different versions, lots of different colors, but using the exact same layout, and then I'm going to give them as a gift set because I'm going to pop some different sentiments on all of them. Now, what I have done here is I did cut out that little mask that we created. It's actually basically a half mask of that right hand lotus flower there. Now, this is the top layer of the stencil. So there's 3 layers in there. This is the easiest. These are all really easy to line up. I'm not a big fan of really complicated layering stencils that take me forever because I get frustrated that I can't just pop them down and sort of see where they naturally go. And if that is you and you do get frustrated, you can actually pop these into, like the corner of a MISTI stamping tool or your stamping platform or something where you pop them all up hard against a corner, and that will help you layer up your layering stencils. But for this one, not even necessary. It's really easy to see where they go, which I absolutely love. I've just got this down on my work surface and I can easily line up the flowers, the stems, all the good things. So not tricky at all. Right, we've got that half mask now, and I'm just going to pop this over the very right hand flower. Now, I'm not going to lie, I will tell you that my placement of this mask is not perfect, but that's okay. This is going to be a 1-layer card. We are doing this all straight onto the card base. I don't think I had mentioned that yet. So a really, really easy, simple card. Honestly, probably took me maybe 15 minutes at most to make this card, and that's probably because I was making decisions along the way as well. I absolutely didn't have a plan in mind, but I just knew I wanted a really simple, easy layout that I could turn into a gift set. So this is what this is going to be. Now I'm taking the light Carnation ink, so that's basically what we use for the very first layer of our flowers, and I have masked off the side. Now there is that mask of the right hand lotus flower that I'm going over top of, because I cut the mask out with quite a thick border, so that I wanted there to be a white mask all the way around that stenciling that we had done. I didn't want to go over top of it, and I didn't want to do any fussy cutting and pop it up, but you could do that. You could stencil the entire flower head and then fussy cut it out and then pop it up, but I wanted this all 1 layer. So I've done my masking. There's my little ink corner, and then you can see that with that nice white edge around the lotus flower, absolutely, it still stands out beautifully. Now, these sentiments are all cut from my free printable sentiments sheet. These are on my website, natashafootecreative.com. You can go over there, and there are lots of freebies that you can download. There are PDFs. You can change the colors of them. You can make them larger. You can make them smaller. You can do anything you like. And I've talked about these free sentiment sheets. I use them a lot, and there's a lot of good planning that goes in behind these to make them really easy for fussy cutting. Not too difficult. But this one here is a beautiful thinking of you card. If this sentiment is too big, you can actually cut off one of the layers of the borders there. That's why there's 2 strategically, so that you can cut off one, and it still has a nice black border, but it makes your sentiment just a little bit smaller. But this was a really quick, easy, beautiful card. There's no bulk to this at all. I would send this to absolutely anyone. I think it's a beautiful thinking of you card, and as I said, I'm going to do the same design but change up the colors. So this is what I was saying over here on my website, natashafootecreative.com. There is a QR code here on the left hand side. You can scan that and it will take you straight to the website, or you can just go natashafootecreative.com. There are also some card making classes over there. And these give you so many options for using what you have. For example, Bursting Brilliance is using explosion powders, or there's a whole lot of different names for them, but there are actually so many different ways that we can use them. So that is a really good class that shows you every way you can use them. And then it also shows you ways that you can do all of the techniques in the class, even if you don't have the explosion powders. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you either over on my website or here on YouTube next time. Thanks, bye.